Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. This is, I think, my last canvas of 2023. This is Flower Crazy from Diamond Art Club. This is the last kit of my artist series for the year, and I'm just gonna jump in. So let me get rearranged a bit and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, let me get my timer started here and then I will just jump into my life update. You guys, we had so much snow last weekend. We got over 9 inches of snow. It has not snowed like that here in I don't know how long. I couldn't believe how much snow we had. My husband was like, oh, it's like home. He's out shoveling the driveway, and he actually only shoveled it twice. He went out after the first probably 8 or so inches. And the weird thing about it is we don't usually get pretty snow here. When we get snow like that, there's a ton of wind. It's a huge wind chill factor. It blows everywhere. We've got giant drifts. This was that snowfall like you see in movies where it just floated down so prettily and it just nicely piled up on everything. You know, the railings of our deck in the backyard had these nice thick piles of snow, but it wasn't blown around. It was crazy. I cannot remember ever having snow like that. Like I said, it's always windy and stuff blows around everywhere, so we end up with these huge snow drifts, and it was not like that at all. So it was kind of crazy. But hubby had lots of fun going out and playing in the snow and shoveling and everything. We didn't end up taking all of our regular walks this week because of the snow. There was just so much on the roads, and of course they don't plow side streets, and so there was a ton of snow, and my son and I usually walk in the road because there's no sidewalks down where our house is. So I didn't want to walk in the road. Even with our snow boots on, there was just so much slush, and it would melt during the day and then freeze overnight, and it was just a big mess. So we didn't walk much this week. And it really wasn't that super cold. It was just, I didn't want to fall down. He probably would have been fine crunching through all the snow and ice and junk, but I didn't want to take a chance, especially with my already bum knee. So it snowed on Saturday. So my oldest came over on Sunday for our second Thanksgiving dinner last week. Can you guys believe, was it just last week that was Thanksgiving? It seems like so long ago already. Yeah, that just blows my mind too. This year is just flying by. Anyway, she came over for our second Thanksgiving dinner. So that was nice to get to see her again. And we all got to sit at the table together because it's been quite a while since that happened, just the 4 of us. After Thanksgiving, I had my husband dig out all of the Christmas decorations and stuff, which admittedly is not a lot because I hadn't realized, I guess, when I put everything away last Christmas, I assumed that was going to be our last Christmas here in the States. I thought we'd be in Canada this Christmas. So, like, I had packed everything super well, and a bunch of stuff I had gotten rid of because I wasn't going to schlep it. So this year was a little bittersweet. I didn't decorate a ton. I have my little countdown calendar that I always hang up on our front door. And we put up our tree, but admittedly, I didn't put up very many ornaments. Probably a third of the number of ornaments that we actually have went on the tree. I put out my mom's nativity set because this will be pretty much the last year that I put it out. I've already told my sister that she can have it on loan while we're living in Canada, with the caveat that if we ever come back, she has to give it back to me. I really want to take it with us, but it's so delicate. It's so old. Even though we were planning to take it with us in our vehicles, it's not like it would be in a moving van or on a plane, whatever. But I just would feel terrible if anything happened to it. And it has like gems and stuff on it. So really any kind of vibration could make things fall off, make things break, and I just don't want to take that chance with it. So she's going to be the caretaker of it unless and until we come back, and then I get it back. So she's excited about that. Like I said, I've got my little countdown calendar hanging on the door. I can't believe, what is it, 22 days until Christmas now? That feels insane to say. And I feel like I'm behind, even though I've already done quite a bit of Christmas shopping. I think it feels weird because I haven't bought anything for my siblings, which that will be weird too. I mean, I'm fine foregoing presents. Like, I don't even really need my husband to buy me anything. But my sister and I had discussed not buying for the grown-ups and just our kids. But then we were like, well, we need to buy for my brother and sister-in-law because they don't have kids, and making them buy for our kids feels mean when they don't have any. So I'm probably going to end up buying stuff. We just buy gift cards anyway. My sister is a huge coffee fiend, so I usually get her a Starbucks gift card. And we usually get, my sister-in-law is a big book reader, so we usually get her Amazon cards because she always has, I think she titles it her weird book list. And rather than us trying to figure out what she has and what she doesn't, we just give her Amazon money and then she can buy books. She likes to read a lot of weird history type stuff, especially about Ireland and England. So I usually just get her an Amazon card and let her do that. My brother gets a gift card to a restaurant, and my brother-in-law gets a gift card to Lowe's because that's his, he always jokes, that's his Lowe's spending money or his home improvement spending money that my sister can't do anything with. So I've got the bulk of my Christmas shopping done. I even have things wrapped and under the tree. I do have a package of stuff that arrived for my husband that I need to wrap, and I need to go back and see. My mom had a big thing when we were little about making sure, well, and this carried on even to when we were adults, everybody had the same number of packages and the same amount of money. I refuse to get sucked into that. I feel like my kids need to realize different things cost different amounts of money. And so if you just ask for little things, you might get lots of little packages. And if you just ask for one big thing, you're only going to get one thing, but it was all the same amount of money. And admittedly, I've loosened up on that too. It's hard because my son's birthday is very close to Christmas. So sometimes it feels like he gets more, but it's his birthday. And he's been hard to buy for. He gave us absolutely zero ideas this year. He wanted a new computer, which we went ahead and got him because my husband found it on sale and his was messing up. And because he's in school, he had to have it. So he's already gotten his present. But I don't want him to have nothing under the tree. So I've gone out and bought just, some simple things. I found him a super cute pair of pajama pants. He comes up the other day, Mom, can you fix this? And he's got a giant rip down the inside thigh of one of his flannel pajama pants. And it's not a rip along the seam. It's actually a rip in the fabric, which the pants are too small for him anyway. He needs a larger size. He's grown since we bought them and he just refuses to get rid of them. The rip was finally bad enough that he agreed to throw them away. And I went out and found some. He won't admit it, but he likes ones that have little cute designs on them. So I found him a pair. It's a red pair, and then it's got like a white Nordic design, but the animal on it is a moose. I think they're super cute, so I hope he likes them. And I still have some more things coming. I need to go back and look at my daughter's list and see. I think I need to pick her up a couple of other things, but I also need to send her a list on to my brother and sister so that they can go do some Christmas shopping before the holiday rush hits. Yeah, I think that's why I feel like I'm behind. I mean, I have stuff coming, but anyway. And I still need to do stocking stuffers and stuff, and we still need to make our yearly pilgrimage to Nifty Nut House, which, again, I thought last year would be our last time for going there, so I'm kind of excited to see what it's like, although I want my husband to take a day off during the week so we can go during the week instead of trying to go on the weekends because it's always such a madhouse on the weekends. So everybody has the weekends off, so everybody tries to go on the weekends. And I mean, I've gone during the weekends, but I prefer to go during the week if I can because I don't people well anymore. I never did really, but I really don't now. Okay, I think that's all for my life update. What's going on in my diamond painting world? First, if you haven't already seen it, go check out yesterday's video. It is the video montage with all of the finishes of everyone who participated in DP for Vets. And a huge thank you again to the sponsors because they help make the event even more awesome. But a huge thank you to everybody who participated. I have so much fun giving stuff away. And so I'm excited to always see all the wonderful things that everybody created, what the finishes look like. There were some really interesting ones. And again, always things that I hadn't seen before. And so always excited to get a look at everybody's finishes and see what people did, because I think that's amazing. Okay, so that's over. Looking forward to the events next year. Like I said before, I will be doing DP for Pets and DP for Vets. Not sure what those will look like because I'm not sure where we'll be when each of those events happen, but I'll figure it out, right? Whatever happens, I'll figure it out. How did everyone make out for Black Friday? I know I talked about this last WIP in chat. I'm still waiting on stuff to arrive for Black Friday. I have all my Diamond Art Club stuff. That came really quickly, which they're usually one of the last ones to arrive, so I'm happy about that. A little disappointed because I bought less than I thought I would. You know, with the 125 new designs between Black Friday and Cyber Monday from Diamond Art Club, I thought I would like more than just a couple of them. I ended up getting 3 new releases and then 3 that were not new releases. So just a little bit of disappointment there. Obviously, my tastes don't run like everyone else's. I also bought some kits from Dreamer Designs and Bella Art. Bella Art I don't have yet, which I hadn't expected theirs. I figured those would take a while to ship. But Dreamer Designs actually made 2 different orders. So I bought some stuff on Black Friday, but then I also placed another order on Cyber Monday. My Cyber Monday order got here 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I'm still waiting on my order for Black Friday. Now, it was supposed to be here a couple of days ago. I did get a shipping thing that said it's out for delivery. So hopefully it shows up and it didn't get lost. That's always my concern, is it's going to get lost. So I hope everybody was able to find something that they loved and could afford in all of the Black Friday sales. I do still have a little bit of money left in my budget, so I am planning on going back out and buying a few more things. I've got a couple of small diamond painting businesses that I've recently come across that I'm going to look at buying something from. One is the Mermaid Cavern. I love their anime style, so they just did some new Christmas releases, but I have a different one that I think I'm going to get. So I think I'm going to get that. And then Francesca's Studio Works, I think is the name of it. I have my eye on a couple of hers, and I'm not sure which one I want to get, but I think I'm going to get from both of those, and then I may go back and use points to get additional things, because I have points at Oraloa and Dreamer Designs and Diamond Art Club that I could use to get some kits. And that way I can use my points and I really will only have to pay for shipping. So I'm working hard to finish up 2023. Like I said, I can't believe how fast this year has gone, but I think I'm going to meet all my goals. I went through and did my goals update, got all my numbers together and everything. I actually plan to do it in this WIP and chat. I don't know if I'll get to it, but we'll see. So I have a little bit left in my budget. I'm trying hard to finish up. I finished both of the flag kits that I was doing for DP for Vets, so I got those done. I finished up my Coral Canyon from Oraloa. If you haven't seen the finish of that, check it out. It's super cute and colorful, so I got that done. I finished my last Paint Gem mini set. They had a really good sale during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so if you guys were interested in those, hopefully you saw that and were able to pick some up, because they're normally almost like, well, I think I've bought them when they're like $40 a kit on sale, like $39.9 or something like that. And I think they were down to like almost $25 during the sale. So it was a good sale. I considered it, but I like them, but I feel like I spend too much time picking through the drills because a lot of their drills are kind of trashy, so I didn't buy any more. I may buy some in the future, but I didn't this time. So I finished my last Paint Gem mini set, and then my 40 by 40 that I had from Craft Ease, which was my Orchid Fantasy, I finished that one. And technically, I've never done anything by that particular artist before, so I could have counted that one and called my artist series finished, but I really want to get this kit done, and so I'm going to call this my last one. If I don't get it done before the end of December, then I'll use the Craft Ease one, but I really want to finish this one. This one is so pretty, so colorful. I love how it's turning out already, so I want to get this one finished. I might actually frame this one so that I can hang it up. So this will meet my artist series goal, and then it should give me enough hours that I'll meet my DP hours goal, so I'm excited about that. So now that I can kind of move on from 2023, not completely, because I still have to finish out December goals and all of that, and I'll do like a year in review kind of video, I'm sure, sometime at the beginning of January, but I now have the spoons that I can kind of move on to 2024. I've still got some admin things that I want to do. I did finally get my logbook redone, so that was one of the admin things I wanted to do. I am maybe going to be revamping how I do some things like my thumbnails and some other things for 2024, although I'm not sure of that yet. So I've got to spend some time like looking at designs and seeing what I want to do and what I like and how I want to do things, or if I just want to leave it all the same. So I need to focus on that. But I definitely in December am going to be sharing not only what my goals are for 2024, but I'm going to start unboxing and prepping some of the projects that I want to start working on once we hit January, because I definitely want to hit the ground running. I've got some really big projects planned. Hopefully you guys will be able to come along with me while I do some of the prepping and planning. I haven't quite got that far yet, but so yeah, 2023 is almost over, and we'll see what happens in 2024. I do have lots of big projects planned, but hopefully I have balanced that out with enough smaller projects that I'm not going to get overwhelmed. I'm also toying with the idea of maybe posting one video less a week. I'm not thrilled about that idea. I think where I'm at now, I'm pretty comfortable with, but I just have so many big projects, don't know if I'm going to have enough to kind of fill in all the video slots that I want to. Although I also have admittedly, I realized the other day, I haven't really done a D-kit. Actually, I realized the other day, not only have I not filmed a D-kit, I haven't done one. I have not D-kitted the drills from my Moonbeam from Craftably kit that I did, which I didn't realize I hadn't done. I was moving things around and I found the drills and was like, oh, I should have D-kitted these. I haven't D-kitted my Orloa yet. And so I've got some cleaning up to do. So on that note, I did do some cleaning, and while that's where I found I hadn't D-kitted the drills, while I was doing some cleaning, I had to reorganize things so that I had room for all of the new kits that I bought. So I ended up moving where my bottle cases were stored, and that's when I found the bottle case that had those drills in it, so that I had an extra shelf to store diamond paintings on, because my craft room was driving me nuts. So there were so many things on the floor and just things kind of hanging around that, you know how when you clean stuff, you clean one room and then you're like, I know this needs to go in this other room, but I don't know where it goes in that room yet, so you just shove it in that room. That's what my office was looking like. So I ended up moving some things around, and so now I have room for all of the new diamond painting kits that I've bought, which is awesome. Speaking of, did you guys see the new pre-framed kits from Diamond Art Club? I wish there had been more than two. I like the rose one. Of course, it sold out. I didn't even look to see if the Peanuts one sold out. I am not a huge fan of Peanuts. I read the cartoons when I was a kid, but I have never understood why Charlie Brown continued to fall for Lucy's tricks every time. Like, I just thought Charlie Brown was stupid. So anyway, I'll be interested to see if they are doing more pre-framed kits. I mean, to me, it's kind of, I guess, a little bit misleading. Yes, the canvas is stretched over a frame, but it doesn't have the same finish look to it as a traditional frame, so I don't know if I would like it as much. I think it would be interesting to do it. What else, you guys? I'm sorry for jumping around so much, but I have so much in my brain that I'm trying to get through. And I apologize if I'm talking too fast. Okay, so I told you guys that I was doing admin stuff and trying to get cleaned up and set up for 2024, reorganizing things. I managed to, because DP for Vets is now over, all of the items that I kind of had sitting around waiting prizes to be mailed out and that kind of stuff were just taking up floor space. Those can now be boxed up and get sent to the winners, and then all of that stuff will be out of my way. So that's nice as well. I mean, I like giving stuff away, but it does end up taking up space that I could be using for something else. So I will be glad to get those in the mail once I get mailing addresses and everything and get all of that sent out. So that was good. And I feel a lot better now that I have everything kind of cleaned up and lots of stuff off of my floor and things like that. So, like I said, now I have the brain capacity to start really thinking about 2024 and how I'm going to approach some of the stuff that I want to do for 2024. I redid the logbook, like I said. If you guys haven't picked up your free copy, I will try to remember to put a link in the description below to my shared YouTube files. They're on my Google Drive. There is a link in my About page on YouTube, but I'll try to find it and throw it in the description box as well. There are lots of files, stickers, labels that you can print out, that kind of thing, but there's also a folder with all of my logbooks, and I've just left all of the versions up so that you can pick which one works the best for you. The very first one I did was for the small size Happy Planner Classic size. So it is like 9x7 roughly, but I got tired of cutting down the pages. So I decided in 2023 to make one that was 8.5x11, so I didn't have to cut the pages down. Plus it just gave me more room to put stuff on there since it was an 8.5x11 instead of 9x7. So in 2023, I made that one. And then this year I redid it to make it, 2023 is kind of more flourishes and fancy, and then 2024 is more of like a plain Jane version. But they are free downloads. They're just PDF downloads, so you can download them and then you can print them out and do whatever you want with them. They're meant to be used with a disc system, which is how I do it, but you can certainly just print them out, hole punch them, and put them in a binder, or however you want to do it, whatever works for you. So go check those out. Also, while I was looking ahead to 2024, and also once I realized I needed to do some de-kitting, as I'm looking at some of the projects that I'm getting ready to set up for 2024, one of the things I want to do is go out and buy some extra bling to add into it. And I have a spreadsheet that I keep with all of the ABs that I have, what DMC code they are, whether they're round or square, all that good stuff. But the thing about having them on a spreadsheet is that's not the same as looking at them, because as we all know, not all die lots are the same, even within a company. DMC 722 from one version of a kit from Diamond Art Club may be a different die lot than that same DMC from a different kit. And so sometimes it's helpful to be able to actually look at the ABs. So what I had been doing was keeping them with the DMCs and my spare drills, so they were just all together and I knew where they were. But I think I have decided that I am going to go back and stop doing that, that I'm going to figure out a different system for keeping my ABs, because I want to keep them somewhere where it's a little more visual, where I can see them. And also so that if I want to just look through my ABs and see what I have, I don't have to pull out my giant boxes of spare drills. I don't know what that's going to look like because, well, currently for my squares, they're already in 2 boxes. So hopefully that will let me consolidate my squares into 1 box. With my rounds, I have quite a few more ABs in rounds than I do in squares. So I don't know if that's going to make it too small for the box that I have them in. So I'll just have to see how that turns out. but I want something that's a little bit more easily accessible for the ABs so that I can do more kind of at a glance looking, and not just ABs, but also some of my special drills as well. Like I've bought some square crystals from DP with sparklers, and I've got some diamond dots and some other things, and I just want like I said, a more visual way to store them so that when I pull out a project, I can immediately go to like just one box, hopefully, or one binder, or whatever I decide to do, and be like, okay, I'm going to pull out this, 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 and this. I will say I have gotten away from keeping all of my spare rhinestones. I kept them for a while, and I kept them and I had them labeled. However, rhinestones are so finicky, and sometimes they don't want to stick. Like I saw somebody on YouTube talking the other day about how with rhinestones, especially when you're working with like a full crystal diamond painting, that you can't ever like just run your hands over it like you can with a regular diamond painting with regular drills, because invariably something will pop loose as you're running your hands over it, because they just, I don't know if it's the silver backing on them or whatever, they just don't seem to adhere as well to the canvas. Plus, on the few kits that I've done, like my crafties, I enjoyed having the mixture of the rhinestones with the regular drills. And I think it works better with rounds than squares, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like I've outgrown it. It's not my favorite thing. It makes it a little more difficult to work with. So I'm not saving all of my rhinestones like I used to. So I will have just square and round ABs that I will need to be dealing with, and that's it. So that hopefully will make things a little bit easier as well. That's the other thing. I do have a lot of round and square ABs. I know I've got some round square crystals, some round square. I've got some square crystals that I want to use, and I would like to get all those used up. I mean, I bought them to use them, and they don't do me any good if they're just sitting in my spares. So that's another reason for me to get them out and kind of do something different with them. So you'll probably be seeing something like that in the future. And then a few things I forgot to mention about Diamond Art Club. So I saw, like I said, the pre-framed kits that they were selling. But for me, like I think one of them was round, weren't they? And especially if it's a round one, you would need to seal it if you're not going to frame it and put it, under something that's going to keep all the dirt and dust out of it. But sealing it voids the warranty. So I felt like that was an interesting choice. I did actually see a new release that caught my eye this week from Diamond Art Club. I spent points to get it so that I didn't have to spend any actual money. I saw it. It was one of those, immediately when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's really, and I showed it to my husband. He's like, get it. So I did. All right, I just need to finish up this little section here. How long have I been talking? Okay, I think I have enough time that I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about my diamond painting goals and how I did in November. So if you are working along, you don't have to pack everything up because I'm not done talking yet. So my diamond painting goals for 2023, I'll stick a link up in the corner if you guys haven't seen them so that you know what my diamond painting goals are if you're unaware. So my first diamond painting goal is, of course, my diamond painting hours. I'm trying to get to 10,000 hours of mastery. Although on that topic, I did actually read somewhere recently that it's not the number of hours, it's that you do it every day. So it's not necessarily that someone gets to 10,000 hours. It's just, I think maybe that became an average, because if you do it every day, then you're automatically going to get better at something just because you're doing it every day, right? Anyway, so I'm trying to get to 10,000 hours. So I wanted to get to 1,000 hours this year. Last year I tried 1,500, didn't make anywhere close to that. I don't even think I made 1,000 last year. So this year I scaled it back because obviously that wasn't obtainable, but 1,000 should be. So for all the things that I finished in the month of November, I have 133 hours and 29 minutes under my belt. Now, that seems like a lot because one of those projects was mostly completed in October, well, the hours were put in October, but I didn't actually complete it until November, so I didn't count the hours until then. So it seems like a lot, but it all counts and it'll all work out at the end, so it's all good. So if I add my 133 hours and 29 minutes to my previous total, which was 822.37, that means currently for 2023, I am sitting at 956 hours and 6 minutes, which is amazing because I should, at the very least, be putting in more than 50 hours with this particular kit, which will get me to my 1,000. So that makes me happy. Always assuming, of course, that I actually get this kit completed, which I should. If I have to put in some 6-8 hour diamond painting days, then I will do that because I definitely want to get this finished. So that's diamond painting hours. My finishes for the month of November, I finished 8 items. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. That was a pretty productive month. So I finished my moonbeam kit. I finished both of my flag kits for DP for Vets, which were smaller kits, but still they count. I finished a couple of small specialty kits. So I did the autumn floral, which was from one of the budget companies, can't remember where. I finished my little small dolphin kit from Make Market, which was just like a 20 by 20, I think. I finished my Coral Canyon from Oraloa. I finished my Paint Gem Ocean mini set, and I finished my Orchid Fantasy from Crafties. So that's 8 total finishes that I get to add. My previous total was 54, so I add 8 to that. That puts me at 62. So that puts me way over my goal of 50 for the year, so I'm happy about that. I really wasn't sure I would make the 50 because I had so many big kits planned. Admittedly, I did not finish all of the big kits that I had planned, but that's okay. The next goal was my artist series, and at the beginning of the year, I had 20 kits picked out, admittedly most of them pretty big, that I was going to do to complete my artist series. The artist series was a series of diamond paintings taken from my stash that were done by artists who I had never done a kit of their artwork before. Now, like I said, I didn't get to all of the ones that were on the list, but I still did enough kits by new artists to me that I'm going to, once I finish this one, have 20. Like I said, I could count the Orchid Fantasy one because I'd never done a kit by that artist before, but I really want to push myself to get this one done, so I'm leaving this one as number 20 on the list. So I finished 2 more that I'm counting, which was my Moonbeam from Craftably and the Coral Canyon one from Oraloa, because I'd never done anything by Carolyn Steele either. So that makes 2 that I can add to my previous total of 17. That puts me at 19, which means I only need 1 more, which is hopefully this one, and then that goal will be met. So far, I'm on track to get 3 out of 3. Then my next goal was, of course, the budget. I'm still on track for my budget. So I spent in the month of November, now remember this was Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and I knew that I was going to be spending a big chunk of my budget, but I spent $649.71 on kits. All of that is kits. I bought 14 new kits, which is a lot. I don't think I've ever bought that many at one time before, but I knew I was going to be spending it, even though it was a bit of a sticker shock when I added it all up. I do, even after spending that much money in November, I had a large chunk of my budget for the year left, so I still have, for the month of December, $225.34 remaining if I want to spend it, which I've already said I have my eye on a couple of kits from some small diamond painting companies. I'm waiting and hoping that Bella Art is going to restock their kits or get some new stuff before the end of December, because I would like to buy a couple more from them as well. If not, no biggie. I've got money that I can spend. And like I said, I'm also going to be going back and probably getting things with some points at kind of the big 3 so that I can spend little amounts of money. That way, if I use points, I really only have to pay for shipping and taxes. I don't have to pay for the kits themselves, which will save me a decent chunk of money. So I should stay under budget. So that's 4 out of 4 so far. Number 5 is the kicker. Number 5, I'm not going to make. I already know I'm not going to make it, and that's okay. Number 5 was I was trying to reduce my stash, which was sort of the whole point behind the artist series, was me kind of shopping from my stash and to deplete my stash. I mean, that was the goal, was to deplete my stash. However, after kind of doing some of my own research and looking at what everybody has been telling me, that it was going to be more expensive to buy things from Canada, I have taken the information to heart. It wasn't so much the exchange rate and shipping and all of that, which is what I thought it was. It's adding in the customs and fees, which admittedly, who thinks about that, right? When you live someplace, you just order from where you are. And so that's not a thing because you're not usually doing cross-border stuff. And so that's not ever been something that I had to worry about. So reducing my stash is not happening, although I didn't do as badly as I thought. So I told you I bought 14 kits. I bought 14, but I also did 6 kits out of my stash. So I did the Moonbeam, I did the Ocean Minis, I did both of the American flags, and then I did the Coral Canyon and the Dolphins, because those were all kits that would have gone in my stash or came out of my stash. Even though a couple of them were, like the Coral Canyon was the sneak peek from Oraloa, but I had already started that one, so if I didn't finish it, it was definitely going to be counted in my stash. So I finished that one. So I finished 6 kits. So that means plus 14 for all the kits I bought, but minus 6 for the kits that I did. So I'm sitting at plus 8 for my stash. But I didn't think it was too terrible for Black Friday. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm secretly hoping, I told my husband he was wanting some ideas for me for Christmas. So I told him he and my kids could get me some of the kind of smaller snack size diamond paintings that Diamond Art Club sells on Amazon, because it ends up being kind of a double dipping thing for us. I don't get any points from doing it that way, but he gets me gifts, I get diamond paintings that I like, and we are currently getting cash back money for shopping on Amazon. Some free money back in our pockets there, so that's good. All right, so definitely I'm not going to make my 5th goal for the year, but that's okay. 4 out of 5 is not bad. That's definitely a passing grade, and I'm doing way better on some of them than I thought. I hopefully will finish this one sooner than the end of December, which means I can move on to another kit. So that would be more hours for December, but we'll see. I've already met the finish goal. I should meet the artist series goal. I should stay either under or right at my budget, so that's no worry. So really it's just the stash one that I won't meet, and that's okay. And then my last goal, which is not really a goal, just kind of an unofficial thing that I keep an eye on, is my random acts of kindness. Now, I didn't send out any in November because in June and November both, when I'm busy with the event, I just have so many other things going on. Plus, I'm already spending money on shipping to ship out prizes and things for those events that I don't send out any random acts of kindness. So if you have signed up and not received one yet, don't worry. Your name is still on the list. I just didn't send any out during November. But I'm already at 102 for 2023. So I feel like I'm doing okay in that regard. I'll be sending some more out in December, so I'll be adding to that total. But I feel like 102 is a pretty respectable amount. I'm not quite sure how that will change when we move to Canada. I likely won't be sending out kits and things to people in the States from Canada just because shipping will be stupid expensive. But I'm hoping to continue doing stickers and maybe cover sheets and some other fun things that I can send to people in just like regular envelopes that won't cost an arm and a leg to ship. So we'll see what that looks like. And of course, that all depends on what our move looks like and all of that as well. Okay, you guys, I've almost finished this section, but not quite. But let me zoom out a bit so you guys can see what I accomplished. I have to say, I'm absolutely loving this kit. The drills are so nice and fit together so nice and neatly. I love the colors, and this was one I was so looking forward to. This is one I really wanted to do, and I'm so excited about it. So hope all that kind of stuff comes through in the video. I think I'm going to leave that here. Let me stop my timer. Again, I want to say a huge thank you to first the sponsors of DP for vets. They help make it amazing. So a big thank you to Bella Art, to Butterfly Effect Wearers, to Art and Creations Marin. Congratulations to the 2 winners. Looking forward to next year. And then a huge thank you to all of you for tuning in every week and paying attention to my little diamond painting channel. I'm forever grateful. You keep me sane, and I can't tell you how much my family appreciates that. I think I'm going to end that here. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. P.S. You guys, don't forget to check out this video over here. It's pretty cool, and I'd like to know what you think.